from Fight Back Media, The Morning Report. Well, good morning, and welcome to The Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. There I am right there. No shame in my game. Look at that shirt. I still have that shirt. Maybe I'll wear it for you. Probably not. Anyway, welcome to The Morning Report. My name, again, is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of FightBackMedia.com, 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 and FightBackMediaTV.com. Trust that you are well this fabulous Tuesday morning. It's supposed to be getting a little chilly here in West Central Florida. I hope not. Don't really like cold weather. Don't really like chilly weather. Like I told you yesterday, it didn't have to be cold at Christmas time for me. Those things don't go together for me. They really never have. We left the Northeast when I was like 7 years old, so I never got that. Oh, I need that Currier and Ives Christmas because I live here in Florida. It's a ridiculous expectation to have, so I don't have it. Like the red wave, it was a ridiculous expectation to have, so I never got it. So when it didn't happen, yeah, because it was stupid. Anyway, yeah, this is not what you think it's going to be. But it's still very, very good, no doubt. All right, and this thing you see here, yeah, this is my my yoke for my flight simulator, which you might catch me doing in the middle of the show. You might, nah, you won't. Anyway, again, thank you for tuning in. We got some stories to talk about because there's always some mess going on. There's a giant illegal immigrant caravans are crossing the El Paso before the Title 42 thing expires. We always say this, and I've been saying this for years. The left, Democrats, always tell you who they're the most afraid of. They tell you beforehand or what they're most afraid of. They don't have any compunction about keeping it close to the vest. No, that's not how they do it. They'll tell you why. And we're going to talk a little bit, not too much, a little bit about how Joe Biden does not have the art of the deal when it comes to making deals for, I don't know, hardened criminals and lesbian WNBA stars. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that too. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be back with more of the program right after these messages. So is it okay now, because it was, during the Trump administration, it is okay to talk about the president's
yeah. We talked about mental health elderly, so let's talk about this guy's mental health.
The president's mental acuity, because there's sometimes where it seems to be lacking. Have you seen?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it's especially bad. I'm talking about sometimes it's like really bad. Like, have you seen the picture?
I was told not to take any questions.
I was told not to take any questions. They told they're going to be mad at me.
They're going to be mad at me.
Mr.
President, are you the president, or were you five?
You see what I want? See, the next question is, excuse me,
I was told to call on what you call for NBC. Who's telling you to call on?
That's the question that we ought to be asking. Who's telling you this?
I don't understand why nobody won't ask that question.
Is Jen Psaki actually the president?
Who's telling you to call on these people in the media?
Is Jen Psaki actually the president?
Probably so.
Well, hey, everybody. My name is Willie Lawson of The Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of FightBackMedia.com, 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 and FightBackMediaTV.com. We trust that you are well today. If you want to know more about The Morning Report, just go to the FightBackMedia.com website. If you want to see The Morning Report on YouTube, just go to YouTube and search for Fight Back Media, or on Rumble and check out our Fight Back Media channel. We'd love for you to subscribe to both things. Also, you can listen to the audio podcast everywhere you get podcasts, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, all around the world. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now. All right, welcome back. Appreciate you. I seriously appreciate you being here. It was one of those things that if it's off the front page, a lot of people don't think it's happening. If for some reason you're not hearing about it every night, you're not seeing about it, you're not seeing it on the news or even in conservative journals, if you're not hearing about it, then it's not happening. But let me tell you, that's never true. That's never true. Just because you're not hearing about it is almost evidence exactly guaranteed that it is still going on, and it may even be worse than it was before. In an article from townhall.com by Julio Rojas, he states that multiple illegal immigrant caravans have crossed into El Paso, Texas, totaling into the thousands. As people are making their way to the U.S.-Mexico border before Title 42 will no longer be enforced toward the end of the month. Videos show illegal immigrants easily crossing the shallow Rio Grande from Ciudad Juarez with no Mexican law enforcement stopping them. Due to the large volume of people, they have to wait in lines after they cross and create small fires to stay warm. Now, we are going to insert some video. I am going to insert some video right here.
¿Qué onda?
Aquí, aquí, aquí.
Gente, bienvenido, bienvenido. Bienvenido a los Estados Unidos, lo lograron. Lo lograron, hermano, bendiciones. ¿Dónde va la liga?
¿Nos sacamos o no?
Yo creo que no. ¿Para qué? Sí.
¿Ah?
Dale, allá.
please. Hey, ¿se el pantalón, chaval?
To give you that we got off Twitter to give you an idea of what the hell's going on down there. It's incredible. Fox News correspondent Bill Mulligan, Mulligan tweeted that the migrants were escorted into Juarez by Mexican law enforcement and dropped off at the local non-governmental organizations before illegally crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. So the Mexican law enforcement pull people up and drop theirs off in Juarez before they cross. So y'all remember the Mario boat lift where Castro basically emptied his insane asylums and prisons and said, so you want to go to America? Have at it. That is exactly what the Mexican government has done. Quite a turnaround from the attitude they had under the previous president, isn't it? Quite a turnaround. The El Paso sector has jumped to the #1 spot for illegal crossings, overtaking the Rio Grande and the Del Rio sectors. There have been over 53,000 encounters. 53,000 encounters in the El Paso sector since the start of fiscal year 2023, which began in October. So between October, November, and half of December, there have been 53,000 encounters. 53,000. Title 42, the public health order that allowed Border Patrol to quickly expel illegal crossers, is set to expire on December 21st. And then it's going to get worse. If people are trying to get across now just because it's going to be, it's going to be hell later. And the United States may be actually forced to do something. And these people in this administration want you to worry about Elon Musk. They want to keep you focused on Twitter. So you can almost, and so does the media, you can, and of course Trump, you can almost guarantee when the media and the left start focusing on one thing, it's for one reason and one reason only: to get your attention off of something that's much worse happening over here. Think about this, friends. October, November, and half of December, 2.5 months, 53,000 plus encounters in one sector. It's an invasion. You whatever. You can call it whatever you want. It's an invasion. There are giant illegal immigrant caravans crossing into El Paso, Texas. It's an invasion. Borders? When you ask Homeland Security and they say that the border is secure, when you ask the president, when you ask Karine Jean-Pierre, is the border secure? And they say yes, they are lying. It's very simple, folks. They are lying to you, to your face. They have such little respect for you that they are lying to your face. It is not secure. It is, for whatever reason. Now, we can all speculate on why they want this to happen. And if you're into the speculation, please write that down in the comments, whether you're on Rumble or whether you're on YouTube, or if you're watching this on or listening to this on Spreaker and the audio podcast. Go ahead and send me an email at fightbackmedia@gmail.com, fightbackmedia@gmail.com. And if you're into speculation, you speculate why this particular administration is allowing this to happen. Allowing in 2.5 months 53,000 encounters in one sector. Why do you think they are doing it? There's a reason. And let me help you. It isn't just because they're incompetent boobs, which they are incompetent boobs, but there's something a lot more sinister here, isn't there? A lot more sinister. All right, folks, we're gonna take a little break. We'll be back with more of the program right after these messages. My name is Willie Lawson, and this is the Morning Report. Welcome back. Again, welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. It is Tuesday. Let's see what day it is. I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday, December 13th. Thank you ever so much for spending some time with us this morning. If you want to know more about the Morning Report, just go to fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Thank you ever so much. The audio podcast is available on Spreaker and Spotify and Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts and Castbox and Deezer. And we're trying to get it available up on Amazon, so you can listen to it on your Amazon Echo or your Amazon Dot. And you can sort of do that through Spotify. It's kind of weird. It's the Morning Report on Fightback Media. You can check that out. Or you can just listen on the website. There you go. Easy enough. Or you can just watch it on the website. Easy enough. Or you can go to YouTube and watch it. Easy enough. Or you can go to Rumble and watch it. Easy enough. All right. We appreciate you. Let's get it on. For those of you who are watching the video, the gentleman who is right here. This is a dude named Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX and Twitter. Is it interesting that the left was apoplectic about this guy buying and running Twitter? Now, like I said, he is the heart and soul and mind and inspiration behind probably one of the more successful EVs companies in the world, Tesla. Now, not that Tesla is perfect, not that the electric vehicle technology is perfect. I don't think it's perfect yet. I think that those people who are early adopters, good on y'all. But one has to admit that of the people in that genre, Tesla is out front, especially not just with EVs, but with autonomous vehicles and trucks and the like. They are definitely out front. Now, something else. SpaceX actually sending people into orbit, sending satellites into orbit, building rockets that the first and second stages land on barges and are reusable. That's that dude. That's his brainchild. And so if you think now he can do all that, but a lot of Democrats and people who are on the left think that operating Twitter, a website, is well out of his range. Doesn't make much sense, does it? Well, of course it doesn't make much sense because it's BS. The thing that they don't like is that it seems that Elon is, when he says that he is a proponent of free speech, he seems to be at this point telling the truth. And he promised that he would expose some of the shady behavior as it purports or connects to free speech that was happening at Twitter before he bought it, which is why they did not want him to buy Twitter, because it was going to be everywhere. It's going to be all out. And it seems to be that. So much, in fact, because he has made accusations and allegations that the Biden White House and the Biden campaign and the left and Democrats were involved in the attempt, well, in what happened to banning Donald Trump from Twitter and putting the kibosh on the New York Post story about Hunter Biden's laptop. That they were all in cahoots about it. It's funny that I saw a tweet that said, "Are you, did you learn anything?" Sort of, I think it was from Hotep Jesus. Did you learn anything from the Twitter files? I didn't. And I think he wrote underwhelming. Well, it's underwhelming because this is stuff we already knew. But if you said it out loud, you were some sort of conspiratorialist, right? Hey, you're one of those conspiracy guys. No. I'm someone who looks at the situation and goes, I think this is happening, and I think this is bad. This is happening. And sure enough, what we're finding out is what we knew all along. We're not getting new information, we're getting confirmation. I'm not getting information from I didn't get any information from the first release of the Twitter files, as Elon's called it. I got confirmation, not information. And confirmation is also important. The federal government, the Biden administration, is having a cow. Democrats, including the Biden administration, haven't exactly kept it a secret how they feel about Elon Musk owning Twitter. Just in case anyone's been able to forget, the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, reminded everyone as much during yesterday's press briefing. The reporter who brought up weekend tweets from Musk during the press briefing refers to them as a series of attacks, which he himself admitted included mere memes. What's your response? First, to all the specifically to the attacks on Dr. Fauci. Here's what the press secretary says. So look, we've been very clear about this. These attacks, these personal attacks that we have been seeing are dangerous. They all, whenever we get too close, those people are dangerous. Those people who are telling the truth are dangerous. It's a theme on Fauci and other public health professionals as well. Jean-Pierre answered quickly. So anytime any of us question the authorities, the experts, it's an attack on them, and it's dangerous. Those people are dangerous. Despite how Jean-Pierre often has a dance around her responses to even the most basic questions, there was no spin needed here. Again, the administration has been clear that they see Musk as a threat. She added, they are disgusting and they are divorced from reality. You are dangerous and you are insane. Here is the tweets that we're talking about are these. Elon tweeted, my pronouns are prosecute/Fauci. If people lost their mind. And he writes, a few hours later, the branch Covidians are upset. There was also a meme about Fauci's support for lockdowns, even even if there are never ending under the guise of just one more lockdown, my king. Really funny. In addition to his support for lockdowns, which he knew would cause harm, as well as downplaying and even justifying China's use of zero COVID policies that have led to protests in China, Fauci has also been less than forthcoming about the origins of the virus. And he's certainly taken on a smug sense of entitlement when it comes to anyone who dares to question his authority, which ranges from his smug responses to Fauci portraying himself as a martyr. I'm just trying to do the best I can. Shut up. While Musk's tweets earned the ire from not just the White House press corps and Jean-Pierre, as well as idiots like Alexander Vindman. There was also those who applauded his moves. Jack Posobiec expressed hope that this may result in additions of the Fauci files, just as there have been releases in recent days of the Twitter files. As a reminder, the White House not only has balked at answering questions when it comes to the Twitter files, though it certainly has been on the case, especially when it applies to Hunter Biden. President Joe Biden himself, in a press conference the day after, the day after last month's midterm election, laughed when asked if Musk was a threat to national security, before claiming that Elon Musk's cooperation and/or technical relationship with other countries is worthy of being looked at. He wouldn't go into specifics how we can look into Musk, other than to say there are lots of ways. Kind of sounds like a threat, doesn't it? White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan also gave a non-answer to a reporter's question that same week about why Musk would be a security risk. Senator Ed Markey, Democrat from Massachusetts, also threatened Maine. I also threatened that Twitter will, quote, pay a price if they don't put safeguards into place. What are they trying to do? They're trying to scare Elon Musk into silence. Now, what did I just say? Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla, probably the most successful EV company in the world right now. Definitely with technology, that's for sure. And SpaceX. But somehow this guy, who again, Tesla, SpaceX, handling this website, Twitter. Now Twitter, I guess it's an app on your phone, but it's just a website. It's a website like fightbackmedia.com. It's just a website. It's big website. It's huge. Huge. Lots of storage. It's monstrous. But when it comes down to it, it's just a damn website. He needs to put safeguards into place, or he will pay a price, Senator Ed Markey says. Price for what? Tell them the truth. Saying what was going on and who was involved. So Fauci has trended in multiple ways over Twitter on last night, including when it comes to Fauci for prison, Fauci lied, and the real Anthony Fauci. Someone tweeted, or here in the comments of this, like, fascism has a name and there's a D behind it. You have to be able to stand and ask the question, or consider this question: why do they hate Elon so much? Because there is evidence, or could be evidence, of a collusion that can come out that they don't want to come out. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Morning Report. We'll be back right after these messages. Okay, welcome back. And listen, we already know that, or we should have known that Joe Biden isn't necessarily the master of the art of the deal. Uh, just recently, um, this week, well, over the weekend, the deal was cut to release a dude that goes by the moniker the Merchant of Death, an arms dealer that was serving a 25-year sentence here in the U.S. And he had even conspired to kill Americans. Was caught up in one of those conspiracies. Was traded in a one-on-one deal for WNBA star player. They have stars? Oh, okay. My thought, if they have a star, then we all know who they are, but we don't know who these people are. Brittany Griner. And I think she played for the Phoenix team. I don't know. I think that I sound like a real WNBA fan if I have any idea what team she played with. I don't know of any of the other teams, but I know there's one in LA, and that's all I know. I don't know. A one-on-one deal. Brittany Griner was caught with some vapes that had cannabis oil in it. Now, here in this country, having a vape with cannabis oil is really not a problem. A lot of people have decided that cannabis oil for pain and inflammation is a much better plan than taking, some drug that causes inflammation, like prednisone or other drugs. And a lot of athletes have decided on cannabis oil, or even smoking marijuana directly, depending on if your sport tests for that kind of stuff. But cannabis oil, it has been, has sort of been taken like, yeah, okay, that's fine here in America. However, in Russia, it is illegal to have. And she had some, and she got caught. And she ended up with 9 years in prison in Russia. Now, by American standards, 9 years for possession of a vial this big of cannabis oil is extreme by American standards. But we're not talking about American standards. We're talking about Russian standards. So therein lies the debate. However, the Biden administration was able to get her out. And that, we talked about here before, when it comes to the art of the deal, Biden doesn't have it, which was painfully exposed when he, of course, pulled the trigger on a bad deal to get back WNBA player Brittany Griner. We talked about that. But to complicate matters, to make this worse, this is part of the story that a lot of us, including you, didn't know about. A prearranged phone call between Griner and her wife, Sherelle, was botched when no one was at the front desk of our embassy in Russia to connect the call. It was on their anniversary, no less. The Biden administration did apologize for the oversight, citing staffing shortages on the weekend. But this call was scheduled weeks in advance. This should tell y'all that they don't give a damn about Brittany Griner or you. Because all of this was to show you, Black people especially, that we care about what happens to you and Black Lives Matter. They couldn't care less. They couldn't possibly care any less. So a simple phone call between Griner and Sherelle, her partner or whatever, was completely screwed up because there was no one at the desk at the Russian embassy on the weekend to take the call. Although this was planned for weeks in advance. And no one thought, yeah, or someone there said, screw it, don't worry about it. So it only added to the narrative that the Biden administration was incompetent. Well, even more than that, I believe they're indifferent, which isn't necessarily a lie. Since then, Sherelle has been quite critical on how the Biden administration has handled this whole affair, especially since Donald Trump was able to get LeVar Ball's son out of China when the latter was allegedly involved in a shoplifting incident there. So with Christmas time upon us, China was released on the condition that the arms dealer Victor Bout, who also goes by the Merchant of Death, would be freed. That was the deal. An arms dealer for a black lesbian WNBA player. On its face, you can't help but realize that Biden got played. Because frankly, Russia doesn't give a rat's patoot about Brittany Griner. Doesn't care at all. Wasn't trying to teach her a lesson. It wasn't trying to teach their citizens a lesson. They couldn't care less. The talking point from the White House are that this was the best offer. They decided to take it because this collection of officials who bathe in the putrid mix of mediocrity and ineptitude wanted the issue off the table. They just wanted to be done with it. Joe Biden has been wrong about every significant foreign policy decision over the past 40 years. So this is no exception. So did we want Brittany Griner out despite of her atrocious political beliefs? Yeah, of course. Why? Because she's an American citizen. But this is like selling the farm in the NFL draft to get Jamarcus Russell, while having the foreknowledge that he was going to be one of the biggest busts in the history of professional football. The Biden administration's new line appears: we took the deal because this notorious arms dealer would be released from prison soon anyway. Why? At 25 years. He was 16 years. Yeah, I assume 8 years from now. That's at least what John Kirby told Fox News' Shannon Bream. Via Real Clear Politics. Shannon Bream, Fox News says, so how will this administration answer the question why Mark Fogel and Paul Whelan were left behind? Kirby from the administration says, we will, of course, cooperate fully with members of Congress from both sides of the aisle. If there's a need for and desire for more information, we'll be as forthcoming as we obviously can be. Of course, we respect the role of Congress. A couple of points here. Mr. Bout wasn't serving a life sentence, Shannon. He was going to get out in 2029, which is 7 years from now, by the way. So at some point in the not too distant future, 7 years, he would have been a free man. It is 6 years earlier, 7. Nobody at the White House is doing backflips of joy that he is walking the streets. But this was the deal we could get. Now was the moment we could get it. We're obviously going to take a look at our national security going forward, and Mr. Bout has choices to make. If he chooses to get back into that line of work, we're going to do everything we can to hold him properly accountable as we have in the past. We did a national security assessment. We believe that, and whatever the risk there was, manageable and okay to make the deal. So they were like, he's going to get out. He's going to get out in 7 years. So whatever. And we could look good to the Negroes. Okay. That's where we are. My suggestion is you better pray. You just better pray. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.